Osa. Before we get started, I need you guys to like the video. Also, share the video as well. Leave a comment on the video, so that helps out the algorithm and the video gets exposed to more people. All right, and we are now at, last time I checked, I believe 99 subscribers. So we are only one subscriber away from 100. And once we hit 100, I have a special thing going on that's going to give back to all the subscribers and the people that follow this channel as a way of thanking you for helping us get to 100 subscribers, all right, on this channel. So for today's video, we're going to bring back Aba&Preach, but this time more of Preach. So this video is him going back to his homeland for the first time ever. So he kind of tells a story from his point of view and what happened when he did visit his home country of Haiti.
At 36 years old, I'm going back to Haiti for the first time. I know this sounds strange. How can you go back to somewhere you've never been? But you have to understand, as a kid, everything around me was Haitian. My mom, my dad, my grandparents, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, Haitian. So when I say that I'm going back to Haiti for the first time, I'm going back to the Haitian roots that I had when I was growing up. Haiti raised me. Even sometimes when I say that I'm Haitian, there's a hierarchy to this. I have a hard time saying that I'm Haitian because I've never been.
I might consider myself a Haitian, but other people are gonna be like, yeah, no, you're not Haitian. To be a Haitian, you need to go there every summer. I'm Haitian, I go there every summer. Someone's gonna say to them, yeah, you're not Haitian because you go there every summer. You have to spend 6 months there a year. I'm Haitian, I spend 6 months there a year. Someone's gonna tell that person, 6 months a year, but would ask you just started to do this 3 years ago. I did that for like 10 years. I bought a house there. I'm more Haitian than you. And someone's gonna tell that person, 10 years ago, boo-boo, I'm born there. Natif Natal. I'm more Haitian than you. And then someone's gonna say, it can keep on going like that. But all them people that I name, all gonna say I'm Haitian. And it's in their head.
So let me stop it there. So for a little bit more context here, from the channel Aba&Preach, Preach is one half of that. He is not naturally born. He is Haitian, but he wasn't born there, so he's going back there, as explained in the video. So this video is kind of just him explaining his, maybe trying to find his place, basically, right? So amongst his own people. So him explaining about, not having to, kind of having it tough to call himself Haitian because he himself has to, feel like he doesn't qualify to say it, which is kind of weird, even though, both his parents are Haitian. But he himself doesn't feel like he's qualified to say this because he hasn't been to Haiti himself. So, or another multitude of layers of things that he was told before that, hey, you have to check these boxes off, before you can call yourself a Haitian person. So, it's kind of interesting to see that for him, that he couldn't necessarily, you use something that he himself identifies with, but at the same time doesn't. At the same time does not identify with it. So that dichotomy, is interesting to see.
I was born in Grenfell Park, South Shore of Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Grenfell Park, which is a city that is mostly English. South Shore, mostly French. Quebec, mostly white. Canada, mostly Canadian. Do I identify with that? A part of me identify with that. Where they lose me is where they really want to know where I'm from. Now I know there's a disconnect. You're saying you're Quebecer and people are quick to say, yeah, but where are you from? You claim you Haitians, your grandparents or your parents were quick to say, no, you're not. You're from Canada and the same thing, so you don't belong nowhere being a, second generation. You don't belong. You do not, and they make you feel you don't belong anywhere.
Everybody I meet in their second gen or even first gen, they all have those struggles. You'll never be enough.
You can't say all your life that you don't care what people say. If people say that you don't belong, you say, yeah, I belong. Do you really? I don't know. Maybe you don't.
Regardless, you never stop searching for a place to call yours.
Ain't that interesting too? Like, Canada is one of the more progressive countries in the world, and yet somehow there's still cliques of people, bounding themselves together because they identify as one thing, and then keeping others of it because they don't feel like they qualify to identify themselves as that thing. So, and yet Canada is known as the progressive country, as the country that seems to be fair or equal, or just everything seems to be cool with Canada. Yet here you got somebody here who's struggling to find somewhere somewhere or something to identify with, and yet people are being gatekeepers to it too. So yeah, that's interesting.
The neighborhood I was living in was amazing. We were the first black family in that suburb area. But it didn't really matter. It didn't make me feel any type of way. No difference. But when I went to school, yeah, I knew I was different. They made you feel different, the teachers and the kids. The word nigger, I learned in school. Oh yeah. Fights, violence, suspensions, detentions, racism, threats. Every day I had to fight. Every day I had to fight. I'm 10 years old, and for so long, after getting beat, told that you're not going to accomplish anything,
You start to believe it. And I wanted to commit suicide. It's really just a solution, right? If I'm a problem and you remove the problem, then life becomes easier for everyone, including me. It would just be easier if I did not exist.
That's crazy too. So, especially as a young person, where you still haven't, as a kid, where you still haven't really found, your footing, and, you're trying a whole bunch of different stuff, you're getting denied constantly, so you start to think, those thoughts start to creep in, and then, like, hey, you're basically at that point, you're still kind of thinking of others, basically, like what others are thinking, what others feel like, how others are viewing you. So then, you never really that sense of self-worth doesn't really come in until a little bit later. Or maybe, you're lucky enough people was able to teach you about your self-worth, and now you yourself are special in a way. Or you have your own, or you have, let me not use the word special per se, but that there's a reason for you why you're here, right? There's an important reason why you're here, and you deserve to be here. So without having that type of that sense of calling, right? So without having that sense of calling, thoughts like this tend to pop up for people, and I'm glad he didn't go through with it when he was young, because right now him and Aba are making extremely great contact. Glad he's still here, and so it's always important, especially hey, if you're young yourself, or maybe you have kids or little brothers or little siblings that are there, kind of instill that type of self assurance or self love, right? Show that self love, show that self assurance, so that they don't have to have those type of thoughts come into their minds, because the world can be very cold. It can be very, very cold. Right?
So to make matters worse, my parents, they tell me I have to switch schools. I didn't want to go to this new school. I was comfortable in the trauma because I knew what to expect. The new school, I didn't know anything about it. So I was scared of the unknown. I remember the morning that I woke up to go to that school, I was ready to fight. And I got there the first day, a bit anxious. But I got there, and the first thing I saw was a lot of black people. And I was like, oh, snap, I'm home. At this new school, I was around people that looked like me. I could blend in. I was, for once in my life, the norm.
You know what? I don't even really know why you need your people's acceptance. But what I know, though, is that it feels good to have people that look like you, that go through the same thing as you, that understand what you're living. We in this together. No, having your people, having your back, it feels like a whole army. I had to have that. That saved me.
I kind of relate to that too, because even though middle school and high school weren't not necessarily dominated by white people, it was really high school that was really predominated. My high school was really predominated by black people. And when I got there, it felt like the transition from there to high school was a lot more easier for me. I saw a lot of people that looked like me a lot. A lot of people I related to, even if have the same skin color as me, who weren't even black themselves, but we were still able to relate and have an understanding that there was an understanding there. So there was that really did help out in terms of me being in high school, and that whole process over there was really good for me. And yeah, no, it really does feel like you got people that understand where you're coming from, and I think that's really, really important to have, and at least experience at least one time, just to hey, you're not really alone in this, and that's the big thing, letting people having that type of experience to know that hey, there is a section of people where you're not necessarily alone. Like hey, they go through the same shit you're going through. They're trying to figure out stuff like you figuring out stuff, right? So they understand, and that is good to have. That is a great background and structure. It's a great structure, a strong structure to have. And to this day, I still talk to a lot of people I went to high school with, a lot, which is crazy enough, because they're the most out of all middle school, high school, college. High school is really the most. There is really the most amount of people I still talk to this day, which is mind-boggling. But still, it kind of goes to show you how a lot of people, how a lot of people truly relate to you and really have that type of understanding when you are together, when everyone was together before, and then as you spread out, that connection's still kind of there a little bit, right? So I think I'll stop here. So again, I'll leave a link of the video down in the description below. The video is fantastic. I think Preach did a good job. I think Aba was the one directing it. So great video through and through. About he goes into it about a little bit in high school, and then some of the stuff he faced in his day to day before he goes to Haiti. But definitely check it out. I think it definitely is an eye opener, and something that, especially if you were born as a first generation person, second generation immigrant, second generation who's native to this country, or maybe native to somewhere else, but your parents are from a different country abroad or whatnot. Definitely something to really look into, regardless of race. You don't have to be Haitian, or you don't have to be African, really. Regardless of race, I think you definitely would really, really love this video, and it explains a lot with what people like me, because I'm first generation myself, with parents who weren't from here. So when I saw this video, I was like, wow, there's a lot of stuff that I understood, and I saw where he was coming from, and a lot of stuff that I even understood myself when he was speaking to it. And I was like, damn, I kind of go through the same stuff too myself. So it was good to see. And that's about it. So thanks for watching. Like I said before, we're up to 99 subscribers. We need one more subscriber, make it 100, so that then we'll be able to do what I'm trying to do for you guys for 100 subscriptions. And once we get there, I'll make a video about it and tell you guys what's going on with that. Also, be sure to like, comment, share the video. Also, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Hit the bell next to the subscribe button so that you get notifications whenever I do post something. And leave a comment. Tell me, are you a first or second generation son or daughter of an immigrant family, right? Or is your background from different places, and how was your experiences growing up? As that said, heritage or ethnic group, right? So how was that growing up, wherever you live at, and what was your experience like? I definitely would like to know, and then talk to you guys in the comment section down below, right? So that's the video. Thank you guys so much for coming on here and subscribing. I'll catch you guys later, alright? Take care.
I can do whatever if I put my mind to it. Dark times shine through it. Set my goals high, I climb to it. There is no ending, no finish line. Take a break for dinner time, then I dip the dime. Don't hit rewind, I don't live behind. I did live in fear, but now